Hey, it's Andy Fogarty here from the AtHomeWelder.com. Today, I'm going to answer the most common asked question that I get about welding, and that is when to use gas and when not to use gas. So I'm going to answer that question right now. So to answer this question, I'm going to share with you when I use gas and when I don't, and the reasons behind that. Because for ornamental welding, which is all that my company does, it doesn't really matter. It can go either way. But the situation that you're in while you're welding plays a huge role in whether or not you want to use gas or whether or not you do want to use gas. Now 99.9999% of the time when I'm in the shop in a controlled environment, I always use gas. I hook up to my favorite Miller 210, running some 3.5 wire, straight argon. It's just a beautiful thing. It's just a nice smooth puddle. But if you are in a non-controlled environment, like outside, let's say you're on someone's balcony and you're installing a railing and you have to do welding while you're on there. Having a machine with gas hooked up to it, for most people, just isn't an option. They just don't have access to that kind of equipment with long lead lines, long gas lines. They just don't have it. And trying to lug a gas bottle up, for most people, it just isn't something they want to do. Even if you have a small one, it's just not something you want to do. It's very inconvenient. So flux core is generally the way to go. And another great reason for using flux core, which is just shielded wire, is it doesn't matter about things like wind and just crazy weather. If you're outside, all those elements you can't control, they are not affected. It does not affect flux core wire. So I'm going to show you some great examples of wind. So how wind will, if you're using gas, can blow the gas and you're going to get a terrible weld. So I'm going to show you some great examples of what those are going to look like and why I use flux core when I'm outside and why I use gas when I'm inside. Alright, so here we go. I've got my fan on. This is my Miller 210. I've got gas flowing through here, some straight argon, and I've got my fan on so I can simulate the air going through. And this is what's going to happen. This is the kind of weld you're going to have if a wind gust starts to come through. Any kind of wind, really. I mean, it doesn't have to be as much as a fan blowing directly on it. But this is just to give you an idea of what's going to happen while using the gas. And you're going to have to wait while you're on the job for like this weather to calm down if bad weather shows up, and that's just that sucks. So here we go. It just sounded bad, right? You could hear it. It just wasn't getting enough heat. The gas wasn't getting to it. So you can see on these two welds, this is one that I did a little bit earlier. You can see it doesn't matter which direction you're going. That when you have wind blowing on the gas, it's a terrible weld. You'd have to grind this off and start from scratch. And that is just a terrible place to be when you're on a balcony outside welding on someone's beautiful railing. It's just not something you want to have to deal with. Now, I hope that helps answer the question on when and when not to use gas. Me personally, I still have a small little tank that I use, that I carry around with me to take on job sites, if it makes sense. I mean, I'm still not going to be carrying a tank of gas up onto a balcony and climbing on a ladder. I think that's just not safe and doesn't make sense. Now, if you thought the information in this video was helpful and you liked it, go ahead, come on over to the AtHomeWelder.com, join us, sign up, and I'll send you the 5 cornerstone MIG welding techniques. Plus, you'll be on the list to get updates every single week with more great tips and tricks like this, and great tips and tricks on how to make money using welding. So that's it. I'll see you again next time. I'm Andy Fogarty. Bye.